according to Prop 64, the people who've obtained licenses, the people who have gone through the process, paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do things the right way, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the tax structure. The people that are following the rules, they're probably paying soup to nuts 70 to 80% in taxes, right? Where do I come up with that? Let's look at City of Los Angeles. Now, originally, there was a tax that got as high as $161 per pound for cultivation. So depending on the price of marijuana, let's just call that 10%, right? Let's call that 10% tax on cultivation. That's since been removed because they've recognized that there's only two ways in their minds to solve the problem. They either have to go after the black market or they have to make it more enticing for the clean market to proceed. So originally, though, 10% tax on cultivation, 15% state excise tax on the sale of finished product, 10% recreational marijuana tax by the city or town, 9.5% sales tax. So what do we got there? We got 20, 35, we got about 45% in taxes off your gross. And then guess what? I don't know, maybe you're running a small corporation, it's an S corp or something. You're going to be taxed on your income. 25%, is that a reasonable federal income tax you're going to pay now? 25% plus 10% from the state, another 35%. You're up close to 80% in taxes. Now, Mark, I'm going to offer you an alternative. Pay no taxes.
It's exactly
You can pay 70% in taxes, or you can pay no taxes, and guess what? Not a damn thing is going to happen. You're going to get a ticket, and you're going to get a tax. The tax is they're going to seize your marijuana, bust up your equipment a little bit. Let me give you some numbers of where the black market is at, Mark, because I think that is key to this conversation in California. And hey, I could give you my assessment, at least up until a couple months ago. I definitely had my finger on the pulse of this issue, but I also reached out for official comment from a few of the sheriff's departments in Southern California who are most impacted by this, and I did get some response from them. So let me explain to people what the black market looks like. In 2019, the state of California at that time had something called the Bureau of Cannabis Control. Now, they did an assessment at that time of what the black market does. And guess what, Mark? They've never done an assessment since. And the reason why they've never done an assessment since is because everyone that saw this 2019 assessment has taken it, crumpled it up, and put it up their behinds to show how ineffective the current proposition is. They said in 2019 the black market was 80% of the marijuana market. That meant 80% of the marijuana in California was grown and sold out of compliance with Prop 64, no taxes taken out of it, etc. In 2020, there was an explosion of unlicensed cannabis cultivation in California. The height of this was probably late 21, early 22. Now, San Bernardino said officially the height of cannabis cultivation, illegal, unlicensed cannabis cultivation in their county was 2022. They believe they had about 1,400 grow sites, 1,400 illegal grow sites. This is not someone's backyard, Mark. This isn't a plot in a garden, which is how some people were made to think of what the issue is. No. These are huge commercial grow operations, outdoor grow operations made in the desert, and the structures on them are called hoop houses, and they're greenhouses where there's like semicircular PVC tubing holding up plastic sheathing. So it looks almost like an old Ponset hut, but it's not made out of metal. It's made out of vinyl and PVC pipe. So if you took the counties of Riverside, San Bernardino, and Los Angeles County, I would estimate that based on what I heard from them and what I know, there was probably at its peak at least 3,200 grow sites, illegal cannabis cultivation sites, just in those three counties. How many plants are in a illegal grow? That depends, right? There's some that are just a couple greenhouses. There's one in Riverside, California that I know is in existence today, Mark, where there is 600 greenhouses. It's gigantic, unlicensed cultivation site. The average number of plants that I've seen, and we went back and we looked at when we helped local law enforcement address this problem when I was at DEA, we got statistics, we got data. So my statements here are based on that data. The average number of plants per grow is 1,800 plants, and again, 3,200 grows. That equates out to 5,760,000 plants in this 3-county area. Now, federal sentencing guidelines equate that to 11.5 million pounds of marijuana. I don't know how accurate that is. I think you could get a pound of high quality marijuana from each of those plants. Maybe you can do two growing cycles a year in this area, in this part of California. So I don't think it's outrageous to say 2 pounds per plant, but 5,760,000 pounds of marijuana in that 3-county area at the peak in 2022. Mark, that equals all the marijuana seized at the United States border with Mexico from 2012 to 2017, the year before this thing took place. I'll say that again. The amount of marijuana grown in this 3-county area of California.
Illegally,
not legally, illegally, without licenses, without any tax money going to the state, is approximately equal to all the marijuana seized at the United States border with Mexico from the years 2012 to 2017.